Hello, I'm Super Orange Cat here. I'm today with a Toonami news update for today, March 23rd, 2021. First, let's get into some admittedly kind of old news. There was this kind of rumor going on last week that the end of an Attack on Titan promo that was on Toonami's Facebook page, that there was like this very brief blip of this image, and this image looked different, and I'm showing that's the image you're seeing right here image where people speculated that maybe this is new graphics, new graphic packaging that Toonami has. A lot of people speculated it, and on Saturday night, lo and behold, we got a confirmation that we have a new graphics package for Toonami. The last time we had a new graphics package was, I want to say this was late 2019, so about a year and a half ago or so. And that one was at the end of a total immersion event. It is actually pretty common tradition for Toonami to have different packaging, different graphics after each total immersion event, making this kind of an exception, which I found to be interesting. And my opinions on it, I don't really like it that much. I preferred the last one we had better. Admittedly, this is probably better than the one we had before that, which was like green on green, which I thought was kind of nasty looking. At least with this one, you have somewhat more clear cut colors than that one, but you lose a lot of the neon vibe you get from the last one, which I really liked. And I like the lettering of the old one a bit better too than this one. Like I said, and it's really intentionally got that blur effect kind of. As you can see, it's kind of like a projector effect. And I really don't like that. It's like I think I mentioned this at like in a tweet or something where I was like, this is like if you're trying to watch Looney Tunes on a banged up CRT TV, and that's what it reminds me of, because you have the circles like the Looney Tunes, and then you have like the banged up. Like if you have a CRT TVs can screw up easily. And it's like if someone bangs on it hard once or twice, you get this blur effect sometimes, and it just stays there forever because TVs sucked back then. And again, at the same time, I mean, this is new graphics we have. And typically, if you go into marketing, one thing they tell you that when a business is doing poorly and they want to do better, one of the things they usually do is they physically change their branding. And that's what I think is kind of going on here. Toonami not really doing well with ratings, Toonami with known issues with money right now. So it's kind of like this, we're new now. Like kind of like when you have like a business that's clearly losing money, like a restaurant, and they put a banner up front that says under new management, and then you walk in and you're pretty sure you see the same manager in the back that was there beforehand, but you don't question it because the food's cheap and stuff. That's what this kind of reminds me of a bit, but I digress. And that's just one little bit of news. The other one is we have ratings in for this past Saturday, March 20th, 2021. Let's start with Final Space, actually. Final Space at 10:30 p.m. at a 0.21. And then Toonami's block is as follows. Dragon Ball Super at a 0.17. The Attack on Titan at 0.15. Food Wars at a 0.12. The Fire Force at a 0.12. Black Clover at a 0.10. S. Gridman at a 0.09. Narrative Shipping at a 0.10. And the Demon Slayer at a 0.10. Overall, this was another drop of a week for Toonami. Pretty dismal across the board. However, this week there is a very, very simple explanation for this. March Madness. And I distinctly remember on Saturday night, I believe it was on True TV, it was the game between Texas and Abilene Christian, which if you watch, you'll know that Abilene Christian pulled off the upset. It went on. It was a very close ending, fairly tightly fought. So again, a lot of interest. It wasn't like a 40-point win where most people tune out by the second half. Now this game was a game until the very last second, and it went on to around 12:25 and 9. So you gotta imagine there is a degree of people who are Toonami viewers, or at the very least Dragon Ball Super viewers, that are like, well, March Madness is only one once a year. This attack, Dragon Ball Super has been on TV. This episode's probably aired like 10 times at this point. I'm gonna watch the exciting ending. And that probably carried on too with the ratings for the rest of the block, because like usual, Dragon Ball Super, where Dragon Ball Super goes, the rest of the block ends up going in terms of ratings. If Attack on Titan really doing all it can right now to 0.15. Like the only reason why it's this low is probably because of how low Dragon Ball Super was before it. as we have seen the last few episodes of Attack on Titan have the potential to be somewhat higher. And then after that, you have Food Wars with poor retention, dropping 300s from Attack on Titan and 200s from the previous week to a 0.12. And then you have Fire Force down a smidge to a 0.12. And then Black Clover can't make up its mind. It has bounced between 0.10 and 0.14 like 5 times already since coming back. And this week it decides to be down to a 0.10. So, uh, again, like I said, apparently it's still in the middle of quite a big block of filler. So when we get past time skip, let's see where that goes from there. And then you have Gridman at a 0.09. I mean, I think we're starting to wrap it up. I think, yeah, we only have two more episodes, I believe, of it, because I know it's April 10th, it's being replaced by The Promised Neverland. It's wrapping up. Apparently, I was told this was supposed to be in a big emotional episode, but I guess people didn't really care for it. It doesn't even pull in a 10th. I think more than half its week it's been on the air, it hasn't even pulled in a 0.1. Like I said, so far, probably the biggest disappointment of Toonami so far this year has been SSSS Gridman's performance. And then after that, you have Shippuden Building, which, if you follow Toonami the past few years, is a pretty common theme, actually, where Shippuden would build in the show before it. However, you kind of have to asterisk it this time because it gets that bit of a boost from next day DVR, considering it aired at 3 in the morning. And not that bad. I mean, it's a quote unquote rerun. Apparently, Showbuzz Daily treats it as a new show now, so I don't know. But again, episode's been available for like 8 years at this point, I think. So not new. And Demon Slayer 0.10 rerun 3:30 in the morning. Who cares? Another thing I want to bring up though is not Fire Force, Final Space actually, because here I don't see the exact viewer numbers, but I noticed, and I did a little bit of math and determined if Final Space just loses about 7 to 10% based on cable cutting from season to season, and if Dragon Ball Super can retain approximately 68% of that number, which is doable. No, that does not include people who won't watch Final Space but will watch Dragon Ball Super, which will mean that the retention doesn't even have to be as high. Then it will have a net positive effect on the block's ratings. And I think that's a theory they went with because they're going for it's in outer space. Tom's in outer space. Let's put it together. But they did it in this weird kind of half-assed way where they're not even connected because you have 2 episodes of Family Guy that air right afterwards, and I don't have the numbers here, but I'm really interested to see what the numbers of those reruns of Family Guy are. You know, let's see how they are compared to like a 0.21 and then the 0.17 afterwards. And I believe this was actually a pretty disappointing rating for Final Space. It got a fair bit of promotion, but again, it's one of those shows I honestly never thought was that remarkable. It really felt like in many ways it was really, really trying to be like an outer space Rick and Morty. And considering the fact that numerous episodes of Rick and Morty take place in space, that makes it a bit less remarkable. It's like if Rick and Morty met Star Wars, but they tried really damn hard to be Adventure Time at the same time. I never came to like it personally, but you can have your opinions about it, but I never came to like it, and I don't really personally know many people who do. It wasn't like Rick and Morty where there's people who will approach me and talk about Rick and Morty. I don't know anyone who does with this show. And this is something that scares me because I was curious about other days' ratings, so I looked at Sunday's cable ratings, and I found out that there was a show called Mama Named Me Sheriff. Fortunately, it's not a fucked up porno, and apparently it's a spinoff of Mr. Pickles, focusing on the sheriff. And I watched an episode because I kind of forgot about Mr. Pickles, and I forgot that the sheriff was the most insufferable character in the entire show. And it got a 0.22. So think about it this way. A show starring the most unlikable character of a show consistently considered the worst Adult Swim show outdid Toonami. That's just scary to think of right there, you know. And honestly, that's more, I think, a characteristic of people's tastes, you know. And what do you guys think about these ratings? What do you think about the new graphics package we have for Toonami? Leave your comments, leave your opinions down below. I like reading them. If you like this content, if you want more Toonami news content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. I am the Super Orange Cat, and that is all.